What's going on, world? And welcome back to the Pursuit of the Good Life podcast, your favorite podcast that helps you grow both personally and professionally. I'm your host with the most, your favorite coach, the Kameron Lovelace, helping you create your version of the good life every single Thursday. So, how y'all doing? If you live in the Mid-South like me, we got a lot of snow this week. We are on today is Thursday. So this has been like since Saturday night, Sunday morning. So, and it looks like we might go a full 7 days of dealing with this. If you're listening to this and you're not in the Mid-South area, so you're Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, West Tennessee, North Mississippi, South Missouri area, we experience a ton of snow and icy temperatures from like single digit numbers to like more snow than we've gotten in like forever, like record breaking numbers. But this isn't like a happy, oh, hey, snow day, go to work, everybody. No, for some people, this is really like a tough time because like the snow is causing, everybody to increase their heat. The it's caused power outages. It's affected people's running water, and some people are really going through it this week. So if you're listening to this and you are one of those people, I want you to know that I am praying for you, and I hope that you guys can make it through this time. Me personally, I had to gotta get my charge here. Um, Me personally, we ran low on food, and like when the time that we were going to go to the Kroger down the street, um, like the snow is like too high, and we don't have a truck. Man, let me tell you something. This snowstorm has definitely reminded me the importance of having a truck. So hopefully this time next year we'll have a SUV or a truck, so that this never happens again. But our cars are really low cars. I have a Nissan Altima, and she has a Hyundai, and they're pretty low to the ground. And so because of that, it's really hard to go through 8 inches of snow when your car are pretty low. So we couldn't make a grocery run to go to the store. So y'all, me and my wife, we we put our layers of clothing on, got our big coats on, double layer the socks on, and we walked down the street to go to the gas station and just get quick snacks. And we went back to college days, y'all. We got the cup ramen. Yeah, so we out here, we going through it too. But to no degree, for those of y'all who are going without heat, with no running water. We talked to a couple of friends that haven't taken showers since Monday. So yeah, I'm thinking about y'all right now. We're gonna get through it this week. Hopefully help is on the way, and we can get something together by the end of this week, hopefully early next week, so that we ain't gotta deal through this no more. And this is a primetime example of kind of what's been going on for the last year as far as this pandemic goes. And what I mean by that specifically is marriages. So I don't know if y'all know people, but we in our circle, not necessarily in our circle, but people that we know of and that we know have been splitting up during this pandemic. And I think the reason is because now I'm no measure or relationship guru. I've only been married going on 3 years now, been with my partner for 5. Um, but I think that the reason is because people don't really know how to navigate the tough times. So what I mean by that, it's not these people aren't splitting up because they're per se bad people, not necessarily because one's cheating on one another. But I think it's just the rough times that every single couple goes through a rough patch or circumstances, or they might say something that makes the other mad, or like all couples go through some type of turbulent moments, a rough time or rough moments. They all do, but not everybody knows how to navigate that with another person. And so I think with the pandemic rolling in, that really revealed that a lot of people don't really know how to navigate and communicate and adjust and grow with a partner. And that just troubles me, really. That just troubles me. So that I just think that times like this, which is a whole issue, like for these 7 days, like you are stuck in the house with the person, with the people that you live with. And some of y'all might be ready to kill each other, and some of y'all might be ready to, yeah, we in it till this is over. Like you good, or how to have those arguments, you know well, some people say intense fellowships, but you know how to deal with it, find a solution and then move forward. Like, and you're not sitting there letting that one argument fester, ignore people, and you don't address what's really the issue until like 2 months later. You know what I'm saying? And so I really want to encourage people to take a step back. If you're having an issue in your relationships or your friendships, with those people that are close around you, I want you to take a step back and really think about, how am I navigating these tough times? Do I have the tools? Am I properly equipped to navigate these rough patches? This is not what the podcast is about today, by the way. I just really thought about that, just really sitting back and reflecting, over like the past 7 days, and some things that I've been seeing over the last year as far as relationships go. This is a personal and professional development podcast. But we're going to get into the topic today, because I was having a conversation with my client. So you know how this goes. I have a conversation with a client, and then, actually I had a conversation with two clients about this. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll bring it to the podcast, right? So of course, I'm in the space of helping people create their version of the good life, of course. And so I was talking to these clients, and they were shortchanging themselves as far as like their goals. Like they were setting the bar way, way too low. And what after talking and going back and forth, I realized very quickly that these people were making decisions out of fear. The fear of failure, like the fear of that they can't reach those high marks. So they really are shortchanging themselves before they even launch, per se. And I was like, okay, so this is two instances in 1 week that is happening. So how many people are making like big decisions about their life, about their career, about their business, about their relationships, about their whole life because of their fear? And that really made me think about, the assessment that I do with people. Welcome to the jungle. If you haven't taken it yet, go to goodlifetc.org/W2J and take the assessment. I promise you it'll be a transformational experience for you. But when thinking about it, I'm thinking about specifically my chameleons and my turtles, most specifically because I'm a chameleon and I have a high turtle married next to me. And what I've noticed is that people who are high C's or high turtles have a tendency to make decisions based on fear, based on like, oh, this could happen. Like that's just the way they're wired. They think what's the worst possible outcome that could happen. If that there's even a chance of that, then I'm not gonna do it. Or if there's a chance of failure, even a sliver, like they need 100% like guaranteed results for the maximum outcome. And if there's a chance of that, then they fail. But if you're a high S like I am, sometimes you can think about what other people think. So not necessarily your problem is fear, but it's about what will other people think if I fail? What will other people think when I start doing this? What will other people think when I start to go in the direction of creating my version of the good life? And I noticed that my clients were struggling with this. And so, like I said, I was reflecting and just thinking about how many people are going through this exact same thing and not launching into their destiny, like their gifting, like their desires, their dreams, just because of the fear of failure and because of they fear what other people will think, right? And so that's very troubling for me. But if you're listening to this and you know somebody, or you yourself are struggling with this. I really want to spend this time to really help you with that, because it is something that you can overcome. Like, you don't have to live your life living in fear and not doing the things that you truly desire to do. Because here's the thing: if you live your life like that, if you live your life based on fear and the applause per se of others, then one, you will not truly live a full life, like a full, satisfying, fulfilling life that is rich. You won't live that life. You'll live a life that is so shallow and so like in the box, and so like you will not live the life to your full potential if you constantly think about the fear. And here's the thing: the things that you're afraid of, some of them may happen, but it's not always the end of the world. It's not always the end of the world. Those are just speed bumps. Yeah, you might get rejected by something. Okay, delayed doesn't mean denied. So it's really about living your life to the fullest and not letting fear not grapple, really stronghold your, like, stranglehold. That's the word. Like, not letting fear stranglehold your really true life that you're really meant to do. Like, there's so many great things inside of constantly these people, these clients, the people that I talk to. There's so many constant things that they're meant to do and that they have ideas about, but it's fear that's keeping them from holding back. But the chameleons, the people who are scared of what other people think, I'm not done with you either. If you are too busy like worrying about what other people think, guess what? You also are limiting yourself, because if you don't get the applause that you're looking for, if you don't get the approval that you're looking for, then you will shrivel up inside. You'll lose your enthusiasm. You'll lose the momentum that you want to, because you're not getting per se the likes on Instagram, the views on YouTube, the views on TikTok, the views on whatever it is you're doing, because you're looking for the approval of others. And so if you don't get that, then you become a lesser version of yourself, right? And so both of those two areas, living in fear and living for the approval of others, will hold you back from reaching your true version of the good life, right? And so what can we do about this? Because I'm reflecting, I'm listening to you talk, and I think I am in this category. But what can I constantly do about it? I'm so glad you asked. So the first thing that I have to have you do is to change your diet. What you talking about, Kameron? You got to change the diet. You got to change what you're putting in. Because here's the thing: the people that live in fear, the people that live for the approval of others, their environment has what they're taking in, the things that they're consuming, is constantly affecting their lack of action. What do I mean by this? So if you live in a house, if you are let's dumb it all the way down. If you are in a family of people who live in fear, who never take risk, who never do anything that is outside of the norm, who never are afraid to start things. If you live in a family like that and you're having conversations with these people, then that fear, that weight is constantly being reinforced. If you are if on your timeline, on your YouTube, on your social media, you are looking at people never take risk, you are looking at people who never start businesses, you're looking at people who never grow in their career, who work in the same place for 20 years and are okay with that, guess what? You are reinforcing these ideas uh, in your own spirit, in your own mind, not necessarily consciously, but unconsciously. You're constantly pouring in the idea of, oh, just stay in a safe place. You're constantly pouring in the idea like, no, don't do that. That's too hard. You're constantly reinforcing these ideas that you cannot do the things that you want to do. Now, let me throw another scenario at you. You have 5 friends. Those 5 friends have all become successful in their own right. Some have started businesses. Some have excelled in their career. They've risen to executive positions. Some have traveled. Some have done, like, you have a great core group of friends around you that are killing the game in their own way. Guess what that's going to inspire in your mind? Yep, you guessed it. That's going to inspire you to say, well, what can I do for myself? Hold on. They got a new car and they're not struggling on cup ramen noodles. They not, hold on, they just bought a property. Hold on, they just started a podcast. Hold on, they just threw this. Hold on, what can I do for myself? Like that's what we were talking about last week's episode as far as changing your environment. But literally, the things that you are consuming, the people that you are around, constantly contribute to those thoughts that we have about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I want you guys to step back. Those of you who are experiencing your fear, those of you who are living for the approval of others, the ones that care so much about what people think, I want you to really step back and look at your environment. Look at the people around you, the people that you engage with on a consistent basis. Like, how often are you talking to your parents? How often are you talking to your friends? And what are the conversations that you all are having? Because they are unconsciously rubbing off on you, whether you want it or not. So I really want you, so that's the first step, because I really want you guys to get this. I'm trying to make this as simple as I can. Like, you have to change your diet, change what you're consuming, change what you're looking at. So, okay, Cam, what do you mean? What do I change this to if I am in that situation? Well, you got to change, one, what you're listening to and what you're looking at. So if you're constantly having friends who are not in the place that you're trying to be at, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you see them heading in the other direction, okay, but Cam, I don't necessarily know who else to talk to. Okay, then you need to seek somebody. Like, maybe you need to hire a coach. Maybe you need to hire a therapist. Maybe you need to hire somebody like a therapist who will help you go reflect and build like on yourself and the areas and deal with your mental health struggles. Maybe you need a coach who's going to push you, who's going to grind, who's going to help you grind, who's going to help you overcome your adversities, versus those who are going to say, ooh, I'm sorry, man, that's hard. Maybe you should just quit. Maybe you need to hire somebody like a coach who can help you push through that. But if you don't have the resources and the money to hire somebody, then you need to change what you're consuming. So a good example that I use with my therapy clients, if you are in a depressed mood, why would you sit here and continuously play sad music? I personally think Adele is the worst possible person you could listen to when you're in a depressed mood, because her voice literally sounds like crying. Now, I know Adele Heater. She gets her money. She has a rabid fan base. Yeah, you killing the game. But her voice is literally like sad music, and that will reinforce your sad mood. Like, you're not gonna feel like getting up. You're gonna continue to be in a depressed mood. You're gonna want the lights off. You're gonna feel like crying, because it is like the spirit of the music. So if you are, feeling that fear, like, look at your music. Look what you're listening to. You need to listen to. Let me tell you something. What I do when I really need to get work done, I have a playlist called Rise and Grind. And I ain't gonna tell you I was on it, but it's the music that definitely is gonna get me hyped in the morning and help me. Okay, Cameron, you need to get up and take action. You need to get up, start emailing people. You need to follow up with people. You need to do what you need to do to get the day started, right? And so you have to learn how to change what you're eating and know how to do that on a consistent basis. Another thing you guys need to do is you need to do something that's going to build up your confidence. Literally, you need to go out and take a little action, just one. Just take a little action every single day. take a little action. Maybe if it's one step here, one step here, one step here, one step there. And here's the thing, if you keep doing that every single day, or hell, even Monday through Friday, that's 5 steps further than you were each week. Multiply that times 4, that's 20 steps further. Multiply that times 12. You know what I'm saying? That's 240. What I'm trying to say is, when you take those small steps, what you're going to build is that momentum in those confident building directions. So your fear, you're like, oh, I can't do this. Now you're building up the evidence that you can do it. Oh, the people say that I can't do this. Oh, they're not liking my. That's okay, because you have evidence that you're staying consistent in building that confidence that you need. So just take the single action. So change your diet, build that consistent activity so that you can continuously build that confidence. Simple steps. Simple steps. You gotta do this because God has ordained, God has set you apart. God has so much plans for you, but you cannot let the spirit of fear and the seek of other approval. And the thing is, what messes me up is we're looking for the approval of people who are not contributing to the dream. We're looking for the approval of people who just say, oh, what you're doing is dope. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Double tap. Oh, yeah. Like, love on Facebook, thumbs up. You can't let the people who have negative like, we're looking for the approval of the wrong people, guys. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you are a business owner and you have a specific niche market that you're looking to appeal to, you're not looking for the people outside of your niche market to say things. And even within the niche market, you're looking for the people who love your product, who love what you're doing, who are contributing to the growth of it. So you cannot allow those people to hold you back. You can't do it. I refuse to let the opinions of other people affect how I do what I want to do. Unless they are contributing to the growth of it, unless it's constructive, then they're trying to build me up. They're helping me to grow this thing further. Then I don't want to hear it. If you ain't looking for a personal, professional podcast, look, I ain't for you. But if you're looking for a place where you're going to get solid tips, you're going to get solid interviews, you're going to get great individual people coming together to grow and create their version of the good life, yeah, this is the place for you. Oh, Kameron, you used to have an hour-long podcast, man. Can you scale that back down about 15, 20 minutes? Man, can you talk more about that? Man, can you do it this? I get it too, guys. Like, there are moments when I look at, like, can I really do this? There are moments when I look back and I'm like, man, I ain't getting much traction. There are moments that I look at that, but I don't let it stop me. I got people in my corner who are saying, keep going, keep pushing, who are helping me tighten up. You have to do the same if you really, really, really want to create your version of the good life, to do the things that you are destined to do, to do the things that you dream of doing. You got to overcome that fear. You got to overcome the approval of others. Do it because you want to do it. Do it because you feel drawn to it. Do it because you feel called to do it. Let me tell you something. If nobody else has told you, and you're listening to this, you're watching this, I'm here to tell you today, you are awesome. You're amazing. You can do it. You're going to do it. Yeah, you might fall on your face. Yeah, you might trip up over some circumstances. But guess what? You're going to get back up. You're going to keep going. And you're going to find your version of success. You're going to do all those things that you dreamed about, that you wrote down on the vision board, that you wrote down in your journal that nobody's seen. You're going to accomplish all of those things and more I believe in you. If nobody else told you that, I believe in you. You can do it. So that's where we're going to end today, guys. I want you really to sit back and reflect on, am I living in fear? Am I allowing fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of all of these things that in my mind sounds rational, but when I talk about it with other people, it's a little irrational? Am I letting the approval of others keep me from doing things consistently? Am I consuming things that contribute to these thoughts, these beliefs? I want you really to take this podcast episode seriously and make some changes, because I want you to be great. I want people who listen to this podcast to grow, develop, take action, and create their version of the good life. All right, so if you're watching this on Facebook, you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, smash that like button, comment the part of this podcast that really spoke to you. I read every single comment, every single share, and I truly, truly appreciate you guys. If you're listening to this on audio, I know this is coming out a little late. I usually post early in the morning, but I'm recording this in the 9th hour. But I appreciate you audio listeners so much. And I want you guys to do me a favor and write a review and share this with somebody. Help encourage them to write a review. 5 stars only. 5-star reviews only. And share this with somebody who really, really needs this. Until then, I want you guys to keep pursuing your version of the good life, because we're coming to you every single Thursday. Until next time, we will see you next week.